Hello, my name is Maria Elena Sanchez. I am a professor from the Catholic University of Peru. We are here with Miss other colleagues for presentation in this special congress. Ricardo.
Hello, my name is Ricardo Bol, and I am a geographer. This is a comprehensive study of folk festivity or a religious festivity that we're going to go deeper in this presentation.
Hello, my name is María Elena Esparza. I am an economist and a professor at the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Perú.
Thank you, Maria Elena. Thank you, Ricardo. We have to start our presentation, and the name of our presentation is Management of the Social Capacity in the Festival of the Crosses in Peru as a Touristic Phenomenon. I want to say a special mention for the University of Curaçao and Diversity Organization Combination Research Network, and have to start. First of all, I start with the presentation of the Festival of the Crosses. You can see in this photo the special ceremony that means this festival. In the part in the bottom of the photo, you can see the standard, the red standard. This is the name of the festivity, and several people want to support this process when they have your travel around the village. The importance of this research is to emphasize the importance of the innovation in the tourism recently. This festivity normally was on May, and the main day is 3rd. There are a lot of days to prepare this festivity. First, during at the end of this celebration, the name of this festivity will be the Holy Cross, festivity of the Holy Cross, Cross festivity, Cross Day. All this name is related about the church and the Catholic religion. It's important to think unlike the Maple Fall Festival because there is a lot of like a gastronomy festival, like aircraft, handmade aircraft, and especially the music is important thing in this type of festival because the community prepare this festival during the year. Okay. It's important to notice also that there is a lot of festivals for all the region of Peru, especially rural areas, where is the poverty is present. And the celebration is involve a lot of actors, special social actors. The community have a chief called the godfather. They have to pay for the sustainable of this festivity. And of course, the most important thing is to attract visitors from different village, valleys, special inclusive foreign tourism. The objective of this research is have 3 points. The first point is to characterize similitudes and difference between this festivity because is not the same. It has special issues in each festival. The second point of this research is to identify the social capabilities because we notice that this is the most important reason that the festival comes during these years, especially in pandemic, because it's a honors to prepare this festival in each community. And the third point of this research is around the guidelines proposed to the social actors themselves instead to obtain a process, a special process to continue incorporate the problem of the pandemic because they have to innovation in this festival if they can continue in the next years. You can see we research two of these festivals. The first is Luricocha, Ayacucho, Peru. It's important to notice the beautiful of these crosses and the special care of the community to show like a queen or show these crosses like a special mom. The other festival is Juan, Puno. It's not the same, you can see, but they have the same believe it. Do you see the person around the crosses? They special feel like a special feeling. Do you see? This is the map of Peru, and we have to show it all of the festival in Peru. Crosses Festival, of course. There is 414 identified. The two festivals that can research is Puno, like this, and the other is Ayacucho, like this. It's important to notice that the festival is not only for 3 days, it's like all the year, because first, they have to choose a good father or like a sponsor, because they have to pay most of the budget of these festivals. During the festival, they have a lot of activities, like a procession, crosses procession. This is when the people show the crosses around the village. And of course, all the festival, the procession and the commercial fair is related to the crosses, okay? After, when they finish the festival, they have to design another good father. And do you suppose that it's not easy to choose this? But it's not true, because in the village, that somebody chooses like a godfather is a special honor, and all the people in this community recognize that this is a very important person and a person who have to do the best thing to do the best festival this time. The methodology of the research is about make a comparative literature review as other research, but the difference of our methodology is to have to participate the native and community for this investigation. We have to make interviews and we have to make focus group, but the most important is we relate it with the person who do this festival. I have to travel, of course, in the next time, because the COVID is not possible now. And we have to systematize this information to give and return to the community this investigation, because this investigation is for us, not for me. We use two models, and we have to construct one special personalized for this crosses festival to rescale the special abilities, social abilities. This is the most treasure in this community, because this is the reason that the festival comes 1 year to another year. The two models are quintuple helix and Barisco, model Barisco from Barisco Cristina. We made this model. In this picture, you can see 5 dimensions: superstructure, infrastructure, demand, community, and supply, related to the tourism, because it's important to notice that this cross festival could be developed and make more better these communities. And the other model, kin to the helix, have to file also variables that joy make possible to do innovation, especially in tourism, because this is necessary if they want to develop in the next time. These variables are political dimension, knowledge dimension, environmental dimension, sociocultural dimension. In this dimension, there is the social capabilities that the community have, and the last, economic dimension. There is not differing importance in this model, but we notice that sociocultural dimension is especially improved in 1 year to another. Do you see when Ricardo and Marielena turn and talk with us?
Thank you. So starting with these dimensions that we have to understand, and that have to be understood in each one of the components, we have to understand the economical dimension. That, of course, means how much they spend, where do they spend, who buys, what do they buy, and the different budgets of each one of the social actors that interact in this festivity. Okay, the next dimension is the social cultural, and it's especially interesting because we have different societies, different cultures interacting here. People from the Amazon travel to this Interandean Valley, and of course people from the coast, which is more occidental, if you want, tend to go as tourists. But then we also have people coming back, people that migrated many years ago, even to Europe or other Latin American countries, and come back to their village. The next dimension would be the environmental dimension, which is not only related to the natural elements that people might consume from their environment, but also the impact of this festivity, especially aiming the waste management, which is very important. The next dimension would be the knowledge dimension, because knowledge is passed from one generation to the other one. And this knowledge is the one that is building the social capacities in this community. Next one, please. Finally, the political dimension, because although this is a very cultural and very popular activity, the local authorities also participate. And of course, each one of these social actors have different interest in this festivity and in this all this phenomenon. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the social actors that have been already identified in past fieldwork and through the literature review as well. So for example, of course, the priest is one of the main actors, as this is a religious festivity. As any other religious festivity, there is a fair, okay, a merchant fair on the side, and at the same time, that means we receive merchants from other valleys, from the cities or the villages around, but also from different parts of the country. Then we have the mayordomo, that could be translated as the godfather or the sponsor, which is the person from the village which is in charge of organizing the entire festivity. Then we have the visitors that, as I said, come from other villages in the district, from other villages or cities in the province or in the region, the political region, but also from other countries, or some of them also from the capital in Lima. Then we have the musicians. The musicians are very interesting, and you have seen them already in the pictures. You will see them again because they are like the ones that go with the cross. They give some special environment, no? Mystical environment. They are not just music, but they go with the church, to the church with the cross. Of course, the community, the local community, and the communities surrounding do come to the village, and of course the municipality, which is the local authority. Let's talk a little bit about these elements a bit deeper, comparing these two festivities. So on one side we have Ayacucho. Remember, it's in the central Andes, and in Puno, which is in the Titicaca Lake in the southern Andes. So the first one is very close to a coca leaf production area. Of course, that is something very delicate, because some of it is legal, but some of it is illegal. It's about 2,300 meters above the sea level. That would be around 7,000 feet. And the main agricultural product is also very important because this is the harvest time. So it's a festivity that celebrates the harvest. And the main product is avocado. In fact, they have 38 varieties of avocado, and most of it is exported. That economically is very important for this very poor area. Of course, the natural landscapes and the archaeology around it is very important. In Puno, we are very close to the border with Bolivia. That means lots of trade. It's a bit higher, 4,000 meters above the sea level. That would be like 12,000 feet. And the commerce is also very important. It also has a little fair, but mainly related to handicrafts. Of course, the natural landscapes are amazing, and the archaeological sites as well, with pre-Inca influence. Let's talk a little bit about the community. So they are small cities, small human settlements. We have about 97,000 people living in the province and 6,000 people living in the district. While in Puno, we have about 6,000 people living in the province and 20,000 people living in the district where the festivity happens. Both of them are very rural. You see, it's about 50% of the population, and poverty is also very high. It's above 50%. The education is not too good, I'm afraid. About 50% of the population finish their secondary school. The community, especially Ayacucho, was very affected during the 80s and 90s for the internal violence process that we lived. Let's talk a little bit about the infrastructure. There's a very interesting index, the infrastructure competitiveness index, and both of them are very low, I'm afraid. We have 24 departments in Peru, and Ayacucho is the 17th, and Puno is the 24th. So you see, it's not very good. They are at the lowest bottom. The population, communication has improved a lot all over the world. Of course, 60% of the population have internet or a mobile or a cell phone. What about the communications in terms of infrastructure? Well, 35% of the roads are paved. That means we still have to work in this item. Commerce, there are some domestic flights, of course, and we receive between 300 and 400 domestic flights per 1,000 inhabitants. In both areas we have a lodging shortage, and one of the problems is the informality. especially in tourism areas, although it affects most of the economical sectors, I'm afraid. The next one, please. What about the festival? Although we have talked a little bit about this, I must say that both of them are mixed religion and culture. Although Juan Caney, this festival has been declared as national heritage, so that is very important. That happened some years ago. What about the main actors that we have identified in these festivities? As I said, the godfathers, or the well, can't remember the word, I'm afraid, but well, the godfathers, the sponsors, yes. And then we have the musicians, we have the priests. In Puno, we have some healers that also happens to be in Ayacucho, especially from these people that come from the Amazon area. Of course, the community is completely involved. And the fairs, as I mentioned already, is related to the avocado in Ayacucho that you hear here in the picture, and with the alacitas, which are handicrafts in Puno. Okay. Next one, please. What about the superstructure? Well, superstructure, of course, means those organizations in charge of control, yes, that give some rules, yes, and even some laws. So that means we can identify the local government, which of course is very important, at the district and provincial level. We have then the regional level, and of course at the national level, I would say we have several sectors involved, such as commerce, agriculture, and of course tourism, because this is already a touristic phenomenon. What about the demand? I have already mentioned some of it, people coming from different places, but mainly this is a very intimate festival, I would say. People from the surroundings and some merchants from different areas that travel all over the year to different villages and different festivities. Something I must point is that researchers and school and university students do come to this festivity because of its cultural importance. Next one, please. And this is for Marilena Esparza. Thank you.
We have identified some elements that explain the social capacities of the communities that organize the festival. For example, there is a syncretism between Christian and Andean traditions, which is what allows the population to feel this sense of belonging to the community when they participate at the festival. And to be a festival of crosses, you not only need a cross, you need many protocols or rituals that must be strictly followed before, during, and after the festivity. The social capital of the godfather is the main basis of his management. The godfather needs his family, his friends, and his acquaintances to develop the festival, but he knows that he will have them because he will do the same with them when he has the occasion. And there is some principal essence of the management here in the planification. The festival cannot end without the designation of the next godfather, and this is what guarantees its continuity. But we will never have a lack of volunteers because it is an honor to be a godfather. All the community will recognize them. But we must consider that the festival changes over time, and now it incorporates new influences from outside the region and also outside the country. And you can see it in the clothing or in the merchandise that is offered or in the complementary activities like sports or games, for example. But there is also a fair that accompanies the festival. These are different things, but they are strongly integrated because the community needs to generate incomes from the fair. but the profitability is low because profit is not the essence of the festival. But the producers and the artisans knows that if they need to be successful, they had to be associative, and that's the reason why they are part of a permanent committee. And of course, the participation of the local government is vital. In many ways, it provides the place where the fair is established, and the safe and security, and also services and tourist infrastructure. Next, please. Here we have some examples about the social capacities of the community. For example, at the left, you can see the wife of the godfather with her team, and she's controlling all the details. For example, in this figure, she is controlling how the musicians play. Next, please. There are activities to incorporate the children to the festival, and this is a way of learning about their costumes and their gastronomy. Here, there are more things to do about organize the kitchen and to guarantee the provisions for the gastronomy. Next, please. And here is an example of if to reach some goals, they need to work in a team. For example, to make a very big avocado salad. But there are still many challenges to face for the future. For example, the community needs that the festival must grow, but how to grow without losing identity or social cohesion? This is a phenomenon that is considered like a tourist phenomenon, but the tourism is only a complementary source of income. So there must be promotion for the regional and productive activities to make it a more structural form of living. There is a great problem concerning the waste management because of the use of plastics or water bottles, on also organic waste that is not very well treated, and there are no educational programs about environment. The traffic jam and the agglomeration must also be regulated. And in this context of COVID, there is a need of safety and sanitary standards that must be followed. And something that we have been talking about is to build knowledge. But to do this must be participate evaluation about not only the experience, but also the results and the impacts of the festival. This is the only way to propose improvements, for example, looking at the services and the infrastructure to the development, to the right development of the festival. Well, this is our advances about our investigation. We hope you find them interesting. And if you have any questions, you can write to our emails. We are very thankful for your attention. Thank you.